This video will introduce the second project in publication design, and that is a magazine cover and feature design. With the magazine design project, usually I would have the students go to the bookstore or newsstand and look through the magazines and see which ones might need to be redesigned or that aren't designed that great. But because we're sort of working on a shorter timeline here, I found that providing you with some of the elements is going to just make the process faster and give you more time to actually work on the design and concepting. And I think that you're going to hopefully enjoy this process. And again, kind of like with the annual report, this is something that you would be given when you worked in the field, in the professional world. You know, if you happen to work at a publication design studio or even, sometimes an ad agency or even a smaller design studio, and you got a project in which you're going to create a magazine, whether it was 10 pages or 50 pages, a lot of times you would be given the content, the text, the imagery, and say like a design template from your creative director, art director, or editor, so that this is sort of how that's going to work. And we're going to focus on How Magazine, and How Magazine is unfortunately not in print anymore, but it is a magazine that was audience the audience was actually graphic designers, so the audience would have been you. It was a really creative magazine. I believe they still have a website. I'm not exactly sure. So some of these articles will be sort of older, but I really like the articles that I've chosen because it still allows you guys to come up with a creative way to integrate the text, the images, colors. And I think that you will definitely enjoy this project. So the first part of the project is to create a cover. And this is for the self-promotion issue. How Magazine often had each issue sort of had an overarching theme, and the theme you'll be working with again is self-promotion, and it's self-promotion as a graphic designer. So you will be given the How logo, the UPC code, the typefaces that you should work with for the magazine, as well as the cover lines. So you can see right here, the cover lines there's 120 award-winning designs, boost your brainstorming skills, and rethink your promotions. And then I've given you a couple different examples of how the magazine is going to work. And you will have the template. So you will have the template and the typefaces, and then your job will be to create and come up with the image that should tie again with self-promotion. And then the feature design, there are actually three features that you will be broken into three groups, and each group will work on a feature. And then you'll be working with those same groups as we work on visual feedback loops and progress critiques, just because you'll all sort of be familiar with the content and the theme and everything like that. So you will be given the copy, the images, and a template that you'll work with, and then you'll use those to create your feature design. And everyone's really should look different because you guys are all different. And a lot of times in cases of agency or studios in the professional world, there might be a team of multiple designers that are working on different layouts that the client can choose from. So this isn't really far from what you would experience in the professional world. And then I've kind of given you some examples of these aren't the features that you'll be working with, but these are examples of some features that have been done for the How magazine, just so you can kind of get a feel for the look and the feel. I will eventually, this is a new project, so we don't have any students examples right now. So, I figured this at least would be helpful. And then where you can find the articles and the content is in this project to articles.zip. And if you just click on this, you can download the file. And if you do that, I'm just going to show you right now. It's going to be a pretty big file. So, with all the images and the copy and the templates and stuff. Um, I'm just waiting for it to download completely. And then if you click on the file, you'll see there's the three features. And then this will also have the cover file in it as well. But within each one of these, you'll see there's the images. And then, oops, I have to put the template in here. This one has the feature template. and then the how fonts, and then this is the web font article, which has the fonts again, and the template. And I just obviously, when by the time you open this, I will have also the template within this folder too. So I think this will be a fun project to work on. I think you're going to really enjoy sort of the freedom to conceptualize and work on both the cover and then the 6 to 8 page feature. And this will be a really cool project for your portfolio as well. And I did want to point out too, after you go through this video and read through the project statement, there will be 2 micro lectures, and one of them is about getting started. I'll have a lecture about different magazine design elements, and just some different examples of creative magazine feature openers. So definitely make sure to watch the micro lecture as well.